Yes. Oh, sorry. I have to move. Today is the big 6-0.
Yeah.
And what does it feel like being 60?
Well, at the moment it feels fantastic. Because I've had an incredible 24 or 48 hours.
Is that all? Just 24 or 48 hours?
No, well, it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've looked after me so well.
It's true.
It is true. Yeah.
I can't get comfy here now.
Can you not?
No, let's
well.
see. Okay. That should be a bit better. Sorry about the wobbly cam.
It's okay. It's better than wobbly bits.
Well, there's a few of those as well. But so, we are now in the Dordogne. We were just outside, about 5 kilometres outside a village town called Belvez. We are on a house sit for the whole of October. And I can't really show you the house because it's kind of private, but it's amazing. Right here is a 14-metre swimming pool. Right here is a beautiful 4-bedroom house. Right here is a pool house, what looks like a pool house, but which is a fully equipped gym. And we feel like we're in paradise, especially after a few weeks in Mirabel, the motorhome.
Mirabel was great in her own way, but
yeah.
the space here is just lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful. We're right
Yeah.
on top of a hill, and we're looking the Dordogne Valley, and oh, it's just stunning, really, really stunning. We're looking after 2 lovely chocolate labs, and we have our 2 lovely dogs with us as well. So,
And we have each other.
oh, we have each other. So we're happy campers, but a lot has changed. So I just wanted to reflect a little bit on that. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
this is you. You just turned 60 today.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how different your life is today to even this time last year, because yesterday we went for a visit to a town called Sarlat. And almost exactly a year ago, maybe 1 week off a year ago, that's where this whole adventure began, because we went to Sarlat on a Saturday morning at the end of October last year. And we were on our first house sit in the Dordogne, and we were walking through Sarlat. It was a lovely sunny morning in October, and the market was going, and everybody was out and about, and I started crying.
Unknowns to me,
I had
although we were
tears.
walking.
I realised I
Yeah.
had tears going down my face.
Yeah.
And then Owen said something like, I think I'm going to have to stop and sit down and have a coffee or something like that. And I said, why, what's happening? What was happening for you?
I just said that my heart feels like it's been blown wide open. It's like there's something strange happening. It was one of those kind of energetic hits, intuitive hits, call them what you want, where I just knew that for some reason there was a message here for me. And then when I looked across to Jenny, I saw that she was crying these very gorgeous kind of silent tears, and she had a similar experience. And I think for both of us it was a sign, whether you believe in signs or not. For me, I totally believe in an intelligent universe. So I don't need to label that as God or whatever, but there is an intelligence around, and it's like when we tune into it, it's quite easy to be guided. And I think that's what's happened in the last year. We have been guided so incredibly quickly to make changes in our lives that, being honest about it, if we weren't as flexible and as open to spirit, I suppose, as we are, we wouldn't have done it. There'd be all kinds of reasons why not to. But yet, in the whole year, we've basically put our house on the market. We've sold our house. We've bought a motorhome. We've moved to France. We've sold all our possessions.
We've spent 19 weeks of the last 52 weeks. I think that's what we worked out. 19 of the last 52 weeks we've spent in France.
Yeah, and
this time last year, that just genuinely was not on the radar at all.
No, it wasn't. No, that's true. No.
I can't remember what was on the radar.
Well, what was on the radar, I think, was just the wish for me, anyhow, to spend a winter in a warmer climate, just to see what it was like, maybe to take a long-term rental in, I think at the time it was southern Italy I was thinking about. So all this has manifested quite quickly. And for people who run businesses and so on, you know, to allow this to happen, it's just quite challenging, and yet quite, for me, freeing. Because I think any of us, when we think we're bound up in business or relationships or whatever, or shoulds or ought tos or have tos or it can't be done, then that limits our experience. But for us, we realise, okay, there's something here. We've had this big opening. We need to act on that because we do trust this intelligence. And so here we are in the Dordogne a year later. We still have our business in Belfast, a wellbeing centre, which gives us great pleasure, and Doesn't take a huge amount of running for us.
I have 2 other businesses.
You have 2 other businesses. I still work with people in Ireland and go backwards and forwards once a month and so on. But aside from all that, I think what we've given ourselves in terms of the freedom, the peace, the joy, the absolute joy, the sense of abundance without having a huge amount.
Yep.
I would scare, I think, some people in my family if I told them the way that I live, because it's not about having anything in reserve, but it is about really trusting, and that word flow is so important for me. We have kind of really flowed in the last year. We really have flowed. And I do believe that we're flowing into a kind of a new part of our lives. And I think when you work with people and all that, I think all of that you experience yourself tends to somehow be transmitted to others. So that's the joy for me, is that my own joy, my own sense of well-being, and all that I have learnt, the wisdom and the foolishness of being 60 years of age, that all transmits to other people. So yeah, it's been quite an incredible year, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. I really am.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have found a house that we're going to rent for the winter. An amazing deal we got on a house that was
We did.
reduced by €350 a month. Literally the week before we started looking, in a location which is pretty handy for us. Lovely house with a beautiful outdoor space and a pool, and yeah, just really, really nice. So
For €500 a month.
€500.
It's fantastic.
So we said yes. Funny enough,
Yeah,
a
we did.
4-bedroom house is amazing. So we've got this month here, and we're just really enjoying this, and then we move in there, and we later on today we're going to start house hunting again, because we kind of put all that on the back burner just by where we're moving around and travelling and adventuring
And landing.
and relaxing.
And
Yeah, landing in France and
Yeah.
getting to know our new life a little bit. And for me, I still have to keep pinching myself every day, because I'm sure I should be doing, I should be doing other stuff. There's almost like a feeling of guilt in some ways, so that, most of people who are my age, because of course I'm much younger than Owen, as you know.
Actually, she is. Yeah.
Most people of my age are very, very busy and very stressed. Most of my peers are very stressed. They still have young family or family at home, and full-time jobs and different commitments. And you could be very easy for you to be watching these videos without knowing our backstory and think, oh well, it's all very well for them,
Well, yeah, this is as a result, and we've spoken about this, of choices that we have made. And yeah, I think a lot of people convince themselves that they don't have choices. It's like, and the mind is very tricky that way. So you've got to watch yourself and notice what stories you're telling yourself. Like, well, I couldn't do that. I've heard people say that to me. Well, I couldn't do that. I couldn't move to France. Well, of course you could.
Yeah.
It's a choice. What you're telling yourself is a story. Everybody can do what they want to do in life. That's the beauty of being human. Once you're alive, you have choice and freedom all the time. What you do with that is totally up to you.
And actually, over the last 6 weeks or whatever it is, we've met so many people while we're on the road in the motorhome. We met so many other couples, especially, who are living like this. I mean, they're actually freer than we are in some ways, because some of them have just given up. They've given up all their property. They live in their motorhome. They travel all year round. They follow the sun. So they're all heading down to Spain now, or southern Greece for the winter. And they just have this lovely freedom of traveling around and exploring different areas and meeting different people and things. So choices. It all comes down to choices.
Yeah, we've seen so many alternative lifestyles, haven't we? Even people who are decided, I'm going to surf for 4 months on the west coast of France, and live very simply. So, there is choice out there. And when you feel you're tied to whatever it is you feel you're tied to, it's good to question that and say, I'm not actually tied. And then when you do make the choice, okay, I'm staying where I am or whatever, at least kind of fully commit to that. I think that's...
Realise you're choosing that.
Yeah, that I've made a choice, and rather than moan about what I don't have, it's like, no, I'm committing to this because I enjoy my security of having my house or whatever it might be, or my family around, or whatever it might be for you, and committing to that and enjoying it.
Yeah.
We're not saying that this is the lifestyle for everybody, but what we are saying is we all make choices.
Yeah.
And we all have the freedom, most of us in the Western world, to make those choices.
And one of our choices is kind of, to sort of, I mean, being totally realistic about it, neither of us have big income levels. You know, we don't have big income streams.
But we don't need it.
No,
We've landed here for a month, and it's literally like a kind of a 4-star hotel. Really.
Apart from our food, that's the only thing that we have to pay for
and it's free.
5 weeks.
Yeah, and we just mind 2 gorgeous dogs.
So, choices, folks, choices.
That's it, choices, yeah.
So I think we'll sign off there, but happy birthday, Owen, again.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And what's the best thing about being 60 so far?
The best thing about 60 is that I have become incredibly wise. Yes, yeah. and rather foolish at the same time. I'll own that. And I think what I've realised is for me that the seeking of stuff outside of me, I think what has gradually happened over the last 25 years is that I realise now that the philosophy that I embrace is not a philosophy of kind of Buddhism or spirituality per se or whatever. It's the knowing that I'm totally human and I love being on this earth, and I love my humanity, and I also love my openness, my spiritual side, if you want to call it that. Mm-hmm. And I love that kind of holding of those two opposites and being totally okay with it.
And you love your physicality as well.
I absolutely love my physicality. I love the pleasures of the senses, whatever they may be. I love keeping my body healthy, and that's one of my things for being 60. I've decided I want to get even healthier physically, because I really enjoy it. I love feeling energetic. I love feeling energy. And I suppose the other thing that's great about it is when I look at the winter ahead, there's 4 or 5 months ahead now where there's just an expansion and an openness and an excitement about what it is I can create out of those 4 or 5 months. And maybe what Jenny may create, what we may create together. But it's like there's so many possibilities, I think, because of the choices we've made, because we've landed in a space where there's a lot of time. And where there's a lot of time and you don't have to do, and there's not a lot of shoulds and ought tos and have tos, it's like dropping into that space allows kind of new things to emerge. So I'm kind of excited by that, by what may emerge through us individually and as a couple. And I think as well that one of the big things I've realised is that, you know, things do happen through us. So it's not about me and it's not about Jenny. It's about us kind of being containers or channels for fun, for wisdom, for lightness, for love, for freedom, call it, you know, all the different things. But we just allow all of that.
That's very wise.
Is that very wise?
Yes, gosh,
maybe a little bit foolish.
Not sure I'm going to be able to keep up with all this wisdom. Anyway, that was a very long video today, but
was it?
Hopefully you enjoyed it,
Right.
and maybe it sparked something off for you.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel here if you want to be kept up to date. And yeah, look after yourselves. See you later.
Yeah. A bientôt.
A bientôt. Ciao.